You're now listening to All Hog Sports, covering all Arkansas Razorback sports, such as football, basketball, baseball, and much more. Now, here's your host for today's show, Sam Stimson.
Now tonight, Arkansas goes for the season sweep of the LSU Tigers for the regular season. LSU sits at 20-9, 8-8 in conference play. Arkansas at 23-6 and 12-4 in conference play, ranked number 14th in the AP Top 25. Now this game's at 8 p.m. on ESPN2 at none other than the best arena in college basketball, Bud Walton Arena. Now earlier this season, these two teams faced off. LSU was ranked number 12. They were a 15-1 team at the time, and then Arkansas was 12-4 at the time, 1-3 in conference play before that. And if you remember that game, it became a huge story of Jalen Williams played fantastic in that one. It was one of his first, I guess you could say, breakout games. 11 points, 13 rebounds, bunch of charge taken was huge, and swaying back the lead for Arkansas. J.D. Notae with an efficient night, 19 points. He got in a little bit of foul trouble in this one. And then a huge part of this one was Tony's defense. 12 points in 39 minutes, but his defensive effort really was huge for Arkansas. Arkansas was also without head coach Eric Musselman for this one. Musselman was still recovering after his shoulder surgery, so he was out against this one. Keith Smart coached this game and coached a really good one. Arkansas ended that game on a 17-2 run. Their defense was absolutely huge. At the end of the game, I think it was around 9-ish minutes, LSU scored their 56th point, and they ended the game on 58 points. 9 minutes in the game, and LSU only scored 2 points. That's how Arkansas has been able to ramp it up on defense this season, and they look to continue in doing so when they face LSU again. Now, looking at the LSU Tigers, they are extremely good on defense. Number 4 ranked in the nation in defensive efficiency. They've been able to stop teams' three-point shooting, and their turnover percentages are some of the best in the nation. They're the number 1 team in the nation in forcing steals. They're one of the best teams in the nation in terms of getting blocks and really just limiting other teams' true shooting percentages. They've been absolutely incredible. Now, the main 5 you'll see a lot for them is Xavier Pinson, the point guard. Arkansas looked at him out of the portal last year. He ended up choosing LSU. And it's worth noting that for the Arkansas-LSU game I was just talking about, LSU did not have Xavier Pinson in that one, and instead it was Eric Gaines. But Eric Gaines will get time at point guard and shooting guard. Also, shooting guard Wilkinson play a lot of time for LSU. In addition to that, you'll have one of LSU's better offensive players, Brandon Murray, starting at shooting forward. He averages 10 points per game. Xavier Pinson averages 10.3. And your other 2 spots going to be mainly occupied by Terry Eason. He's been incredible for this LSU team all season. Sometimes he ends up coming off the bench, which is really impressive. But 16.5 points per game on 24 minutes per game. And then also Efton Reed, their center, averages 6.5 points per game and 4.5 rebounds. He has averaging 0.8 blocks per game. Eason averaging 1.1. With Gaines, though, and Pinson obviously point guard, Gaines as a shooting guard. Gaines is really good on defense. He's probably one of their best players. A high steal percentage on him individually. And then Pinson, again, really good at finding his open guys. One of the higher assist rates in the nation out of all point guards, especially within the SEC. You'll also see a little bit of Justice Williams and Alex Fudge for the Tigers. But the main thing here is also Darius Days, 13.1 points per game, rebounds leader at 7.8 rebounds per game. He's really good on defense too. The thing about this LSU team is averaging 11.1 steals per game. Arkansas has to take care of the basketball and make smart decisions when it comes down to what this LSU team's good at and such. Now, LSU's 6th in the conference, but their record, really doesn't match the metrics and such because of how injured they've been. I mean, you look at their splits within the last 6 games, they've gone 4-2, but before that they lost 6 out of 7. So they've been kind of up and down, but they've had some injuries throughout the season to Days and Pinson, but they have those guys back and are here for a full, healthy game in Fayetteville. Now, looking at your Arkansas Razorbacks, you already know the story with J.D. Note. The play that J.D. Note is playing at is one of the best within the entire SEC, and he's right up there with Toshuibe in terms of the SEC Player of the Year award. And then looking at National Player of the Year and All-American, he's definitely in those discussions. 19.1 points per game, 3.6 assists per game, and he's only getting better as the season goes by. The way that J.D. Note sees the floor has been huge for Arkansas' success, as they were kind of limited earlier this season without a point guard play, and J.D. Note has showed up big time, delivering that for Arkansas. Now, Jalen Williams, again, been the second best player on this team overall. 9.7 rebounds per game, and then 10.6 points per game. He's really close to averaging a double-double this season. So if he gets a couple big rebounds nights against in the SEC tournament and against LSU, Tennessee, he could average that double-double. So he has something to watch for there, averaging 1.2 blocks per game. I mean, this is your all-around glue guy. The thing was, before Jalen Williams started scoring, he was affecting the game so much without scoring, especially on defense. And now that he's scoring a lot, the way that he's just overall made Arkansas succeed within their winning streak has been critical. And then again, the charges he takes. And the thing on the charge versus like a block or something, when you block a shot, there's not a 100% chance that you get the ball back. When you take a charge, your team's going to get the ball back. And I love that about Jalen Williams. A lot of, fans of other teams will criticize him for that, but that's part of basketball. I mean, you can't criticize a guy like Jalen Williams to take advantage of the charge block rule, and I agree that the rule has kind of been skewed within the last few years. I think most basketball players and fans would admit that, but Arkansas taking advantage of it is just something they have to do. You take advantage of the bad rules and play them out for the best worth of your team. That's what Arkansas has been doing. Amude's been red hot on offense, too. He's shooting 45% from the field, 11.2 points per game for him, 4.7 rebounds. It's important for him to have some good time here. And additionally, Tony, Davis, Likes, all those guys averaging above 8 points per game will be critical to Arkansas's offensive success. And look for Trey Wade and Kamani Johnson to also get some time at forwards. They've been getting some huge boards this season. Again, Arkansas has been able to pride themselves on their defense. One of the most efficient defenses in the nation. So for them to hold other teams to low points, first turnovers, get some blocks, offensive rebounds, you know the deal. Arkansas's got to be able to do those things. Offense also has to be stable. The three-point line kind of is what it is, but Arkansas has been able to drive to the basket and get a lot of good layup opportunities. Additionally, J.D. Note playing good minutes and staying out of foul trouble is key there too.
It's time for Sam's Prediction. Sam's Prediction.
Arkansas taking the win here. I've got the Hogs winning this game 68-65. Seeing some critical things to Arkansas' success is the play of JT Note and Jalen Williams. JD has just been fantastic, and it really did seem like LSU had much answers for him, and I don't expect much of a change here with Pinson. Pinson is good defensively, but I think JD has also been playing so much better since that LSU game. I mean, the way that he's evolved throughout the season has been really special as a fan to watch, and I'm sure coaches have been able to recognize that too. Also, Jalen Williams, the play that he's been able to play at, especially on defense, I think will take care of Days and Eason. Additionally, offensive style of basketball, he's been able to roll to the basket, get his hook shots up, easy layups, and such. I think it's important, though, that Amude, Note, and Williams. I say that's the big three for Arkansas. If you would name the best three players, I think like most Arkansas fans would name those right off the bat. So 2 out of 3 of those guys playing a lot of time, staying out of foul trouble, and playing their best basketball is crucial to Arkansas winning. It's basketball. Not everybody's going to be on 100% of the time. So if Arkansas can just have 2 out of 3 of those guys produce, I feel like they're going to win a lot of games, especially here in March. I mean, this is March, the best month of the year. Additionally, Tony, Davis, and Likes. I look for Davis to come off the bench. If he can get double digits, that's going to be huge for Arkansas. Just bench points are critical when it comes to basketball and offensive efficiency. Tony, Likes, Wade, and Johnson. Look for all the guys to play their individual roles in this one. Like I said, though, I think the main reason I like Arkansas winning this one, the win streak, winning 14 of the last 15 has been huge, winning the last 4 in a row. I think Arkansas has also been able to handle the basketball much better. Especially against LSU, it's important to note because of how good LSU has been at forcing turnovers and such. I mean, you look at the game against Kentucky here, and Arkansas didn't have that many turnovers. At Florida, it wasn't that big of an issue. So, as long as Arkansas can just keep that tempo going, keep it rolling. And again, a huge reason is Bud Walton Arena. That place is tough to play at. Now, I'll be recapping this game and previewing the last game of the regular season, Tennessee. I'll have that episode out on Friday, so you can check it out then. But for now, signing off. Woo Pig Suey.
That's all for today's episode of All Hog Sports with Sam Stimson. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode covering all Arkansas Razorback sports. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on social media too. On Twitter and Instagram at All Hog Sports Pod. Like on Facebook at All Hog Sports and Arkansas Razorbacks Podcast. And on YouTube at that same name. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Go Hogs!